Hey guys, I'm up at Gerstner and Sons in Dayton, Ohio, the makers of beautiful wooden chests. And I'm sitting here with Scott Campbell, the president of Gerstner and Sons. Scott, good to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Adam.
Thanks for having us up here and allowing us and bringing the camera in to do a tour here at the factory. This is awesome. I have been a machinist for, well, since 17, and ever since becoming a machinist, I fell in love with wooden tool chests, especially the Gerstner chest, and just fell in love with them. And I would love to learn more about the history of the company. Can you tell me a little bit more about how Gerstner and Sons was established and why?
Yeah, I'd love to. Harry Gerstner was a pattern maker in his early career, and he decided to make a portable chest to carry his tools. So in the evenings and after hours, he made up his own portable chest, and a lot of the guys that he worked with looked at it and said, "Hey, I'd love for you to make me one." So he saw that there was a business potential there, and he was making top non-union wages at the time, so he went to his bosses and said, "You know, I've got this opportunity, I'd like a pay increase, or I'm going to leave and create my own company." Well, they turned him down, so he left and he started making toolboxes on his own. He started in his garage making the first ones, and then he would go door to door selling them. And it started to catch on because it was more of a portable box that you could carry around with you versus the larger chests at the time that were mainly stationed on the bench.
Okay.
So from that point, he kept growing the business. He started, after doing it in his garage, he had a small little shop around the corner from where we are today. And then he moved into this building. He laid the foundation in 1913 and completed it in 1914. And we've been here ever since.
So this building right here was established in 1914, and that's where the shop has been ever since?
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is amazing. It is absolutely a beautiful building. Just driving up, I was amazed.
Thank you.
You can just see the history driving up to it. Just looking around, you can see the history of this place. There's machinery in here that is original to this location, and I'm excited to see it. I can't wait to see the shop and see how all the tool chests are created. And we also, previously in a video, I showed one of the tool chests that I own that I sent up, which we got right here. And so we have one of their master craftsmen by the name of Paul, and he's here with us, and he is going to talk to us about how he is going to do the restoration on this box and the steps that it takes to do a restoration. And what's really interesting is that this is the building that this box was built back in 1965.
Correct.
And it's made its way all the way back here to its original birthplace. So amazing. Well, I'm looking forward to the shop tour. So
Okay,
what do you
we're
think?
happy to have you.
How about we go check it out and see what you guys got to offer?
Yeah, we'll take you around and show you how to make a box.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
Thanks, man.
Thanks.
All right, so I'm with Bert Wilson, and he's going to give us the shop tour here at Gerstner and Sons, and I'm super excited to see the entire shop and the process. And I believe we're standing in the warehouse where the lumber and the wood comes in,
That's
right?
correct, yeah, rough cut.
All right, so we'll go ahead and get started.
Okay, very good. So this is a rough cut area, and typically we've got oak, walnut, and cherry hardwood that comes in from the mills, and it's been seasoned or kiln dried, and the lumber has been surfaced down to a rough dimension. We usually need about 1/16 of an inch to work with later on in the process. So at this point, everything's just kind of oversized in the rough.
Okay.
So here we've got a stack of cherry. What would happen is the operator would go through and start defecting the material, where they would look for cracks or splits or anything that is not desired in the end product. And through the rough cutting process, you can look at some of this lumber and you might see some sapwood or different knots and things. That's all going to be removed through the rough cutting process. And we'll typically throw away about 50% of our hardwoods at this point of the process.
Wow. Okay.
Unlike metalworking, when we order our raw materials, being a naturally occurring substance, it varies from shipment to shipment.
Yeah.
Every board is different, so
Yeah,
we just have to deal with what Mother Nature gives us.
I can imagine. This is all part of your pieces here. Is this end cuts and drops?
That's exactly what we've got. This is an upcut saw, so we would go through and take the large boards, run them through, cut them into rough oversized lengths, and then any of the scrap we'll put up in the bins to try and reclaim for different parts, smaller components.
Yeah, okay. I love this right here. Look, you've got a spot for the wrenches. Obviously, these are for the saw.
That's right.
Very cool. Okay, can we see your scale?
Yes, absolutely.
Look at this. This is really cool. So this is Bennington. Well, let's go. Is it calibrated? Does it work?
Yeah.
I'm standing on it. That's pretty neat how it goes up like that. We're gonna see what I'm up to.
I'm not getting on that.
That is a beautiful old scale. I'm sure you use that for shipping, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, weighing your shipments out. Cool.
So another thing you might notice as we're going through the factory, this being an old building, and we're dealing with a process that's virtually unchanged for over 100 years. You might see things on the wall, various things, and here we just have some different sizes for drawer 10 and drawer bottoms. This is something that somebody could have hung up 40 years ago, and it's still hanging here.
Wow.
So as you go through the factory, you'll see neat little things that some guy might have just put up there willy-nilly 30 years ago, and there it hangs.
Yeah.
Still there.
I get that. That's how I was in my old shop, the original shop, when I worked with my dad. He had stuff that he nailed up on the wall back in '72, and that's where it was when I was with him.
This is some of our drawer making equipment. Here again, it's very primitive. A lot of the machines were fabricated here. So
Really?
Here's a machine that's used for putting the bottom groove in the drawer components. And when you turn this crank, it'll move a section of the arm out, so you would adjust it for varying sizes of drawers. Here again, it's a very simple mechanical device, but it was something that 30, 40 years ago, somebody said, you know what, let's go ahead and make this thing that's going to do this job.
Yep.
And here it is today, used every day.
Nice.
We've got another example of that over here. And this one's kind of fascinating because when you crank the lever here, it's actually adjusting both arms equally so that you can maintain center.
Yeah.
So this would be for the groove in the drawer sides.
That's cool. So you got right and left hand threads there, so that it's moving them equally there. Cool.
So now we're getting into the milling and machining of the raw material and the lumber, the
Okay.
actual parts of the box. Here we've got, we're starting to lay up sides for our model 2007. And this is, now the interesting thing is, I talked about the defecting process out in Rough Cut. This is our rustic hickory.
Okay.
And with our rustic hickory, what we have is we're leaving a lot of the knots and the discolored character in as part of the features of the box.
Okay.
And some people look at this and they think it's very unusual and it's not very pleasing. But other people, rustic hickory is a fairly popular option when it comes to like kitchen cabinets. You could go in and look at a $100,000 kitchen and the cabinets look just like this with knots and different things. So it has become popular in the residential markets as far as a wood option, a wood choice. So we thought it'd be kind of neat to have a toolbox that's made out of rustic hickory.
Yeah. I bet you they look beautiful. One of their chests.
machining centers over here. We use our thermwood to process all of the box parts. So basically, all day long, we're cutting out components for the tool chest. The side, the top, the back, the bottom, the partitions, everything for that box. The drawers are being made by hand in the room that we just went through. And on the other side of the shop, we've got a 5x10 router that we use primarily for custom work. A lot of people don't realize it, but along with our tool chest business, we also make wooden components for other companies, whether it be just a simple component that goes into, let's say, a semi, or a finished wooden product that somebody is rebranding with their brand on it. So we're very flexible as a manufacturer. Our focus is fine wood products, not only our core line of products, but making products for other people.
Okay, that's interesting. I wasn't aware of that. So very, very cool. So this is what this is a router here?
Yeah, this router is dedicated for a lot of our custom business.
Okay.
And here again, it's a very broad business that we focus on. We have speaker boxes, OEM, any type of components. It might be a rebrand. We do a lot of business with Best Made out of New York City, and some of the stuff is co-branded. Other products just have their basically name and marketing associated with it.
Okay. So these are the front lids to the box, right?
That's right. processing. And these are great tools. I mean, there's nothing wrong. You know, this router might be 50 years old, but it does the job it was designed to do. And we really, you know, we'll use equipment as long as it's useful. So
we love the old machinery. They were built to last a lifetime, and sometimes they just need a little bit of maintenance to keep them going. But well maintained and used properly, they'll last a long time. I noticed that you have a saw stop right there. How do you guys like that? Is that a...
yes, the saw stops. We were really excited when that saw came out on the market. We upgraded most of our saws. We've got 3 saw stops that we use, and it's a great product.
Let me give the viewers a little closer shot for those that may not be aware of that.
Yeah,
I have some friends that actually run this equipment here. So this is it's called the saw stop, and how this is designed is if this saw detects, I guess you would say, a human touch, if your finger was to touch that blade while it's rotating, it's designed to drop down immediately and not actually cut your finger.
Yeah, and what I'm going to do is I'll touch the blade, and if you look down here at this box, the moment I touch it, it's going to sense that there is a connection being made.
Okay.
Yeah. And in a fraction of a second, it basically launches an aluminum brake into
Yeah.
the blade and stops it
Yeah.
in a few milliseconds.
Yeah. Okay. And then I think that's designed as a replaceable component at that point. You pull that out and then replace it as.
We've probably gone through 20 brake assemblies.
Really?
Because what happens is there is a instant where this blade, when you turn the machine off, this will coast to a stop, and then once it stops, there's like a second or two delay it takes for the brake to basically become deactivated.
Okay.
And in a production environment, you get somebody that's working on a job and they're working quick. They may come over here, turn the machine off. Once the blade stops, they come in to take a measurement. As soon as they touch, it trips the brake.
Oh man. Okay.
So this all necessarily wasn't in operation. It might have just been a brake that fired,
Yeah.
you know, that split second after it stopped.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
but here again, no injuries. So
That's good. Well, it's doing its job so far.
used for the box assembly
You still use this right here?
every day.
Oh, okay. So this is the clamp that they put the chest in there and it clamps it together.
Turn the handle, that's how you can adjust it.
Okay.
Adjust the clamp in and out.
Nice. Do you know how old this piece of machinery is?
No, I don't.
Okay. It looks pretty vintage.
The fascinating thing is, the thing that I really like about the old equipment is lots of times you'll find the maker marks on the equipment,
Yes.
and almost every time this equipment was manufactured somewhere in the United States.
Yes.
You know, it'll say made in New York City, and you think, boy,
Yeah.
have things really changed quite a bit since then.
Yep.
We're going to go ahead and head upstairs to the sanding area.
Okay. The Oakley Company, Bristol, Tennessee.
Yep.
Nice.
So here's a box that has basically just been assembled. This is how it comes upstairs. When you look at it, it's very crude.
Okay.
Everything's very rough. Surfaces aren't flush. We have to spend a lot of time to get this sanded down to the point where it'll take finish.
Okay.
Now, this operation here that I'm getting ready to show you, a lot of people don't realize it, but the tops and the back of our products, the tool chests, are veneer plywood. And they have been for many, many years. I mean, this goes back to the 20s. The veneer is used mainly for stability. It's not going to move as much as a solid wood panel. So very early, our company founder realized that and started putting the composite panels into the cabinets so that they would last a long, long time.
Okay.
Now, in manufacturing for us, it creates quite a challenge because when we go to sand this, the veneer is very, very thin on this plywood.
Right.
And it's very, very easy to burn through that veneer. The veneer might be maybe 12 thousandths, 13 thousandths thick. So a lot of times when you see us promoting a sale on second-class items, the biggest reason something is a second as far as quality is because it has a small sand through.
Okay.
In a lot of cases, we can color it. It's not really cosmetically offensive. So when you buy a second, you're getting it at a great deal, but the defect is so small, we're kind of our worst critics. You might get it and say, well, I don't even see the problem here. But that is the reason that we do end up with second-class products, mainly from the workers. We would take this box. It goes on this machine. We would bring that out. So we would take a block. stroke sand the backs and then the top of the chest.
Okay.
As part of this process. And it takes a long time for somebody to get comfortable and proficient at this job because you're doing so many things at once.
Yeah.
So it's not as easy as it appears.
That's definitely something that I could see you got to get a little time doing and acquire skill to know the machine and get efficient at it there.
That's right.
But it's interesting to see because I never would have thought that this is a process that you do to finish a box.
Yeah.
I've never seen the process before, so very, very cool. Can we show him your freight elevator?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
That is neat. Do you guys still use this?
Yes.
So you got the, that's cool. They got the chain fall up there to raise and lower.
And this actually, it was converted, well, not too long ago, maybe 5 years ago. But up to that, we were still using the rope part.
Yeah.
And this big, huge hemp rope going around, and you'd have to sit here and pull it, and it would
Yeah.
come up and then send it down. So, yeah, it's a welcome addition.
Very nice. Some more of the in-process chest. There's Paul. He's been
It's happening now.
working on the chest. We still got a little more to see.
So this is where we do our drawer fitting.
Okay.
And this process here, it's another one of those, well, I don't think there's any easy job here. Literally almost every job is a job that requires a high degree of craftsmanship.
Yes.
But this is one where we'll go through and start fitting each and every drawer to each and every box.
Okay.
And it's a very slow process. It's not something that, one size fits all. We'll go through and we'll take the drawer. And here you can see we've got sets of drawers. And you can see where these are, it's almost identical to the boxes. They're very rough, nothing's flush, there's glue on it, there's burn marks. So through the processing, we will start to remove all those imperfections and then get the drawer to where it functions in the cabinet reliably.
Okay.
So what we'll do is we'll go through and start the drawer fitting process, and we'll start with one drawer at a time, and we'll fit it to this opening, fit and feel. We're looking for certain gaps and clearances. This is an oak walnut gauge, and this is a gauge that's been used for a very long time, but this establishes the correct amount of gap in the drawers. Now this would be the minimum that we can put in there.
Okay.
As the box goes through environmental changes, the wood is constantly moving. It's expanding, it's contracting. If it's humid outside, it's expanding, so on and so forth. So if we don't have these minimum allowances built into the functionality of that component, it could swell up to the point where it doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
So it's very important that we go through and ensure that we have these minimum clearances throughout the box for
Yeah.
the drawers and then other components that go into the cabinet itself.
Okay.
And this process can take upwards of an hour to fit a set of drawers to one box, just one box.
Okay. And is this sander here the machine that's used in the process?
We can use either of these machines, but these are basically
Okay.
set aside for the drawer fitting process.
Okay. Cool. I love the lighting in here too. All the natural lighting that the big windows provide.
Yeah.
Along your workstations. It's really nice in here. What's going on right here?
These are components. We have a jewelry chest that we make. It's a very large jewelry chest, J2417. And these are components. The cabinet, in this case, the box is so large and complex, we actually pre-finish each of the components prior to assembly. So these are in the about halfway through the finishing process. The sealer's been sanded and they're awaiting top coat.
Okay.
Final coating. So here we've got our spray booth, and right now we're just processing some of the smaller boxes. These are J1001s. This is a new product. We just wanted to come up with a nice smaller box that could sit on a dresser and, you know, have a few pieces of jewelry in it. Also makes for a great gift. It's one of the smaller products that we actually make. Well, if you look at our product offering, the chests are quite large. So this is just a nice little size for a dresser.
Yeah.
Processing some of those.
Will all your boxes come through here?
Yes.
Okay.
Into our hardware area, and here's
There's some old machinery right here, Excelsior.
some of our older presses. This would have been something that would have operated on that original belt drive system.
Yes, line shaft system.
We've later converted it over to basically just AC motor driven.
They look like punch presses, punch holes.
Yeah, this would be used sometimes in our name tags or our mirror frames. We might need to punch an extra hole in.
Okay.
And then this machine here, we actually still use this. This is for putting, we call it the ears, but on the plunger pin on the box, those are the two pins on the front that lock the lid
Yeah.
when the top is closed. There's two little ears on that pin to keep them from coming through the bushing. And this puts those ears on the pin.
Okay. See, that's neat to see the machine that helps create those components that goes into the box there.
And then this will just do shearing. We can cut, if we have custom pins that we have to make, we can cut to length with this die.
Okay. Neat.
There's no product sitting over here now, but this is where we'll put our hardware on.
Okay.
We'll go through and, you know, whether it be polished nickel or brass, we'll go through and install whatever hardware goes on that product over here.
Okay.
And then you get a nice view of downtown at the same time.
Look at that. Look how beautiful it is. You got the river downtown. Nice open window with a little breeze coming through here. This is wonderful. I like this work spot right here. This is nice. And you see some of the brown. This is the brown felt.
Yeah, so this is getting towards the end of the process. The product has really come along quite a bit since we first started downstairs. And here we'll go in and we'll start putting the felt in the box, in the drawers. And here again, we're best known for the green color.
Yeah.
But we also use brown, we've got blue, black. We've got a range of different colors that you can see online.
Yeah. The brown looks good. I like it. I love the brand new boxes just look beautiful.
So we'll go through, and this is actually a custom order box that we just basically finished up. Customer wanted a dark walnut, so this would have been taken and a custom stain put on, and then we finished it out with an upgrade on the brass hardware.
Okay.
So this was a totally custom order. He picked everything, hardware option, felt color, and stain color. really turned out to be a beautiful, beautiful box. So then once the felt's installed, then we'll go through the final inspection. Here again, we're going through, we're going to check the functionality of all the components, make sure everything functions the way that it's supposed to.
Okay.
And being a handmade product, you're going to get certain variations here and there, but we do have a fairly strict set of guidelines that we go for as far as what makes first class and what makes second class.
Okay.
So we'll go through and check the fit, wax the drawers, clean it up, and then bag it for packing.
Okay. Were these some of the boxes that we were just looking at in the previous room there?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, these are waiting for inspection.
Okay.
So this is the finished product.
These are marketed as jewelry boxes.
Yeah, or keepsake boxes.
Okay.
And then this is actually one of the first products that we laser etched our logo into the material.
It's wonderful. Nice finishing process there. Can I see your vise over here?
Absolutely. Yeah.
It looks like
anything in here
it looks like a Prentice. It is. Prentice vise.
Got an eye.
I know. Can't do a lot of it.
This is fantastic.
Some beautiful boxes here.
That's pretty much it. That's the process. Part of the reason that we reclaimed some of the tool room space. This is our laser cutter.
Oh, for the felt.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Historically, all of our felt was cut on a big, heavy shear.
Yeah.
A shear that you'd use for cutting heavy gauge steel down.
Yeah.
So we decided, you know, with customization and people want things personalized, and we've been doing a lot of custom work that requires branding and personalization. We thought, well, it's time to invest in something that can do all that. So along with the personalization, we also use it to cut all of our felt pieces to size for whatever model a chest is going through.
Right. Okay.
So we just roll it out on the table, and we have programs that will go in and cut the material. It does it very efficiently, but also it allows us to reduce a lot of waste on our material usage, because before, when you're shearing, we would shear strips, and then whatever was left over may not make the next piece. Where now we can really kind of configure different pieces and nest pieces in a way that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that we can increase the yield of our products.
That's very cool. I love the look of the new with the old
I was just gonna say that.
windows, the old building.
Not nearly what it used to be. This is just some of the original tool room, and you can look up at the ceiling and see some of the
Yep.
drive system.
So this was the original. You said it was the tool and die shop. So this would have been like the machine shop area.
Everything from machine fabrication. There was a lot of stamping that we had done in-house at the time, fabricating a lot of the little metal pieces, and we used to do quite a bit of business in the dental markets a long time ago.
Yeah.
And the dental boxes historically typically had a series of trays where you lift it up, and they're almost like a tackle box. And all those little arms and fixtures and metal pieces were all fabricated in here.
Really.
Yeah, so
Very
a lot
cool.
of that we've, outsourced, or the product's just no longer available. So
Yeah. Well, this looks like it's the repair shop, in-house repair shop. So if you need to come down here and work on something, this is where you come, right?
that's right.
Yeah. So you got an old Craftsman lathe, which is still being used. Obviously, you got some chips down there, so that's neat. Got the bench grinders over there, drill press. Look, we got a Greenard Arbor press, number 3. This is the same one I have in my shop. Same exact size. This is a neat clamp. Oh, look at another small little arbor press right there.
Yeah.
Got That's a
Number
Greener.
one.
Greener #1. Look how cute that is. Isn't it?
Yes, it is.
That's cool.
There's stuff like that all over the place around here.
Really. A little pack of Cleveland twist drills there. Got some more nice vices. That looks like a Reed 104. This one right here, American. I'm not familiar with that one there, but this one looks like a Reed. Yeah, Reed Manufacturing, Erie, Pennsylvania.
You know, the interesting thing is these toolboxes, we have used these down here in our shop for years and years and years and years. And these guys are not gentle
Yeah.
on the boxes. And here again, the box functions flawlessly.
Yeah.
You know, the drawers, they take a beating, and it lasts years and years and years of service, and they just last forever.
I'm being nosy. I'm seeing if you got any machinist tools in here. But interesting stuff. That looks like a big piece of steel right there.
Yeah, we used to have quite a bit of primitive surface plates, but
Yeah.
a lot of fabricating taking place on those.
This is one of their old, that looks pretty old right there, old chest. Well, this is really cool, man. Got some more old chest right there. But yeah, to see the old flat belt system up there in the ceiling is really neat. And this right here is one of the handles that they would have used to engage and disengage the drive on one of the machines anyway. It could have been on a lathe, it could have been on anything to actually, you know, start the machine, to engage the clutch, engage the clutch up there. Very cool.
And I would say that continued to be in operation until probably 2002.
Really?
Yeah, we were still doing some stamping products in here when I started with the company, and they were using that belt system.
Really? So they were using it for the stamping machines? Cool. That is neat. All right, so we're down here in the showroom now, and we're going to go ahead and take a little tour and check out some of the different models that Gerstner offers, and just see the different models. You want to go ahead and give us a little tour?
Sure, I can give you a little tour of what we do. And our traditional tool chests that we've made for 100 years are for the machinist with the varying drawers to be able to store your different tools. The reason for a wood chest is when you put your precision tools in the chest, it creates a microclimate and draws moisture away from the tools, so the tools aren't going to rust and corrode. So those precision tools that you want to keep working very precisely, a wood chest is going to be better than anything else because of the climate that it creates. So we've continued to make chests the same way that we've done it for 116 years, and we still have our traditional drawer joint on the front that locks the drawer front in there, so it's not something that's going to snap off real easy. We've expanded with different woods that we use. This one happens to be cherry. We still use our traditional oak. That's probably the most common that everybody's seen. So besides the tool chest products, we've got over on this far wall, we've gotten into hunting and fishing products as far as tuning up any firearms that you've got. You can use it as a cleaning case to keep your cleaners in it, your rods, your pads, and you can also take it to the range with any shells and stuff. And we've done hunting and fishing is a real big division for us. We also have, just for the home, we've got some bar products that we do to kind of spice up a backsplash that you've got. We've got some LED, so we're just trying to hit all areas. We've got a nice knife storage case with a cutting board that we do.
Very nice.
Thank you. We also do attaches for the executive. A lot of times those are used for salesman awards for companies that want to promote the best salesman that they've got. And then we also are into jewelry chests for the ladies. So when you spend all your money on a toolbox, you can bring her home something too.
Absolutely.
Yes, indeed.
One product that we've done to enhance our offering is called Gershner International. Gershner International is a product that's made for us. It's not made here in our factory. And we did this as an entry-level chest. Instead of going with a metal toolbox, it's still a wood chest. It's going to draw moisture away from your tools, but it's at a lower price point, kind of a starter set. So they are built at a more economical price, just to kind of get you in. It's the same as when you buy your first car. You're not going to buy a Cadillac right out of college. You gotta start and build your way up. So that's the Gershner International line. We only offer it in one wood, and we separate it by putting the Gershner International name on it, so it's not mistaken for our regular traditional product.
Okay. These are your jewelry chests back here?
These are some of the jewelry chests that we've got that are made more still with the drawers to be able to divide out your jewelry. This one happens to be a curved front. The reason we did a curved front on this is Harry Gershner's father was actually a cooper. And some of the initial wood that Harry Gershner used on his first chest were scraps from the cooperage. And as you know, that the wine and whiskey barrels are all made out of quarter sawn oak. So that's the whole reason he started with oak in his first chest, was scraps from his father. So we did kind of a curved front to simulate kind of a whiskey barrel, which is the reason for it, and we call it a bow front chest.
Beautiful.
Can you please talk about that beautiful table too?
The tables that we did, we redid our showroom a year ago, and we wanted a table that was actually something that could be taken apart and laid flat. So the legs interlock between each other, and to hold the top on, we have the joint coming up through the top just to secure the top on, and then we put a bigger foot at the bottom that just slips in. But if you're done with the table, you can lift it apart and lay it down flat. It makes it easier to ship around whenever we're doing shows or anything.
Yeah, that's nice. This is just a in-house use item only? Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Thank you.
Can we mention that box behind you there? What's
We always try some different things, just something to appeal more for the ladies. We had done a line of sewing products for many years, and so we just kind of took it a step further, and instead of the black leatherette that you see on a lot of old chests, we decided to cover it in a cloth as a sewing chest for someone. The National line that you see on here was a line that Harry Gershner created in the 20s, and it was a lower cost Gershner. It was still built in our factory here, but it didn't have the highest quality woods and the highest quality hardware. He was kind of making a better and a best version at the factory. So we've used that name on and off for the last 100 years on different products.
okay? Is the National name still available from Gershner?
Yes, it is.
Okay. These are some more of your National boxes over here.
Correct.
This is pretty cool. Seeing some of the, are these some of your original tools here?
Some of this are the original tools that we have. This is a kind of a curio display table that I designed up, and it's actually got a big drawer so you can open it and use it, and have everything out for display that you want to use. But these are some of the older tools that we used to use around the factory, and
That is
just
cool.
just some fun stuff.
Everybody wants this level right here. And you got the old mill and cutter, National twist drill, mill and
Yep.
cutter there, parallel clamp.
Mm-hmm.
That is cool. That is a nice table.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
We also offer hand carving, which we don't do in here. We've got a company that we've done business with for probably 30 years that does church restorations. And so if somebody wants to have a product hand carved, we send it down there. They can hand carve anything off of just a photograph.
Okay.
And then in-house, we can also do laser engraving for company logos, pictures, anything you want on the product. We can do that in-house.
Right. There we go. There's the whole Gerstner team up here, and we are going to close out this video, and that's going to be end of the tour here at Gerstner Sons up here in Dayton, Ohio. And I gotta thank you guys for allowing me to come up here and take a shop tour, and allowing all the viewers in here into your facility, into the shop, and allowing us to take a tour and showing us the entire process on how all these chests are made. It's been wonderful, and I just can't thank you enough for allowing us in here and showing us the process. It's a beautiful facility, beautiful shop. You got a wonderful crew here. Everybody here has been fantastic. Thank you all very much. And I hope you guys really enjoyed the video, and be sure to check out the Gerstner tool chest whenever you're ready to pick one up. They're absolutely gorgeous, beautiful, handcrafted. You can't go wrong with a Gerstner. So I hope you guys, enjoyed my visit here, and enjoy the video whenever it comes out. And I hope you guys enjoy it too. So we'll see you on the next one.